Lil Zay Osama is back in federal custody. Lil Zay Osama is back in federal custody. He's facing forever and a little extra. His career might be over
again
after a superseding indictment was just unsealed. A federal grand jury in Chicago has indicted.
You was just over there in New York with the switch and got caught allegedly. You feel me? You had to be, bro. Your ass got out, so you know what I'm saying. But bro, fo, what the hell going on, bro? Zay, what's going on, fo?
It's 7 men on robbery and kidnapping offenses for allegedly participating in a violent home invasion in Winnetka, Illinois last month. Winnetka is one of the most expensive suburbs in the Chicago area, with many luxury homes showing a median price of $2 million, with the most famous being the Home Alone house from the 1990s classic.
For real? Damn. What you thought? You thought you was gonna see this little nigga down there or something like that? Fuck, chill out.
Roughly 20 miles from downtown.
I didn't know. That's a good ass movie too. I didn't know the goddamn house was in Chicago neither, folks.
Chicago, this wasn't the type of area you'd see Chirac drill rappers sticking someone up. But as we all know, you can never be surprised when it comes to Chicago.
Yeah.
U.S. attorneys received search warrants for
I seen it all in Chicago.
Home invasion, but kept them under seal while continuing to obtain evidence to identify and arrest additional defendants involved in the violent incident. The superseding indictment charges 24-year-old Deshaun Brown, 24-year-old David Franklin, 22-year-old Anthony Ramsey, 28-year-old Isaiah Dukes, 30-year-old Keel Dukes, and 23-year-old Jalen Chambers with conspiracy to commit robbery and kidnapping in connection with the home invasion that took place March 8th. The 7th defendant has not yet been filed into the paperwork as he was just arrested. Now everyone knows Isaiah Dukes is none other than Chicago rapper Lil Zay Osama. And Keel Dukes, aka Big Folks, would be Zay's older brother.
I was finna say they look like,
Ramsey, aka Lil Ant, is also said to be related to the brothers. No stranger
like cousins or something.
Zay was
everybody they be saying like in Chicago, everybody cousins and shit. You know what I'm saying? But the other dude, yeah, they look just like his brother or something. They look just like Zay, so I wouldn't be, you know what I'm saying?
Feds after leaving a Glock with a switch inside of an Uber in New York City. He controversially
with a laser and shit.
14 months in federal prison and would be released in late 2024. Now, obviously, 14 months for a switch is nothing and made plenty of people start to wonder. But after carefully looking through his federal paperwork, I figured out his low sentence was literally just due to having a great lawyer, Don Florio. But this case, this is gonna need a fucking miracle. According to the indictment, Franklin and Big Folks communicated through phones about using a stolen vehicle to commit the robbery. The next day, Brown then drove Franklin, Chambers, and 2 others in a stolen vehicle to a home belonging to 2 victims, named in the indictment only as Victim A and Victim B. While on the way to the home, Chambers communicated with Zay to discuss the plan for the robbery. Once outside the home, Brown walked up posing as a food delivery driver to cause an individual within the home to open the front door. Armed with loaded weapons, Brown, Franklin, Chambers, and 2 others forced their way inside. They'd all pull guns, attempting to rob Victim A for his crypto. But the paperwork doesn't clarify if Victim A was actually home, only that he was the one they intended to rob. Instead, they physically restrained Victim B, keeping him captive while aiming guns at him. They demanded he give them access to the safe, computer, and any online accounts holding crypto. While inside the home,
I don't know nothing about no crypto. Like I hear about it. People be saying like, yeah, that you mean to get your money and make your money work for you type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to get back on that shit. You know what I'm saying? I just need a good ass teacher or something like that. I ain't finna get scammed around here, but I ain't gonna lie, that's crazy as hell. The robber talking about some, hey man, give me your crypto. Give my crypto. What the? Hey fool, I ain't gonna lie. What the fuck?
Chambers would again call Zay, who provided instructions regarding the information needed from victim B to obtain the crypto. Big Folks would also receive a call by one of the conspirators inside the home as the attempted robbery took place. All of the men then fled the scene, meeting up with Zay, Big Folks, and Lil Ant, who according to the paperwork searched them to make sure everything they took was collected. Apparently they made off with $111,300. Split 7 ways, that's roughly $16,000 per person. The only problem with that is a federal trial lawyer can cost anywhere from $100 to $500,000 if you plan on taking it all the way.
Oh, shit.
This paperwork is clearly alleging Zay sent some crash dummies to rob a crypto kid who they probably thought had millions that could easily be transferred without a trace.
Yes.
And that sounds good until you find out the feds have every text, call, and GPS location from every cell phone present. They know who made calls from inside the home during the time of the robbery. They know who texted what. They have the entire timeline of how this was planned and executed. And for kidnapping, all of these men face up to life in federal prison. For interference with commerce by threat of violence, up to 20 years. So mathematically speaking, all 7 of them were willing to risk life plus 20 for $16,000 a piece. Now the biggest factor in this case is going to be
shit, this Chicago, folks. They gonna do what they gotta do for the money and shit, but I ain't gonna lie, folks. That shit crazy, folks. I ain't gonna lie. Just hearing this shit is crazy. Just hearing this that Zay Osama is around some shit like this, it's crazy. I mean, shit, y'all know this nigga goddamn. Y'all know his goddamn his track record, man. I ain't gonna lie, folks. So.
Victim cooperating, which obviously he already is. Otherwise, no one would have known a home invasion took place.
Exactly.
But if he is able to identify anyone, if he's had any previous relationships with anyone tied to Zay or Zay himself, that kind of information is the nail in the coffin. Some way, somehow, someone knew they had a shitload of crypto, most likely in the millions, and they came for it all. But here we are again, for the second time this year, speaking on a rapper who crashed out in a robbery turned kidnapping. The major difference between Zay and Pooh Shiesty is it would seem Zay was directing orders over the phone while Pooh pulled out the damn Draco.
Wait, hold on, fool. On the phone, nigga? What the hell is you talking about? This shit going on the phone, gang? See, if that shit didn't happen, folks, I feel like he could spank that shit, but folks, what? Let me make sure I'm hearing this shit right, you know what I'm saying?
For the second time this year, speaking on a rapper who crashed out in a robbery turned kidnapping. The major difference between Zay and Pooh Shiesty is it would seem Zay was directing orders over the phone while Pooh pulled out the damn Draco. The feds are going to have to prove Zay was actually directing this on how it needs to go down. And that means the feds are going to do their best to get one of the 6 other men to fold, cooperate, and reveal it all. Now I can imagine this whole scheme sounded great as they were thinking of it, right? Oh, we got this kid, he does crypto, da-da-da. Mind you, this kid probably does his little scams, whatever. They're thinking we're just gonna rob him, he's not gonna say nothing, everything's gonna be good, this kid might be involved in some illegal shit of his own. Fuck that. This kid gets robbed, fully calls 911, whatever he has to do to report this situation, otherwise they never would have found out.
Yeah.
And I don't think they understand how fucked they are in a situation like this. This is a Fed case, and already the feds are revealing they know who went where. Because your cell phone is a GPS tracker. They know who was talking to who at what times. They know when the robbery
They can literally get the fucking audio. They the feds. They can get the audio. You know what I'm saying? Shit don't gotta be tapped. Your phone don't gotta be tapped. They could just go and... Man, I ain't gonna lie, fool. They probably already listened to the shit. Because they want to arrest them if they didn't. I ain't gonna lie, this shit, he might be cooked. That's crazy.
They know when the robbery
That's
ended
crazy.
based off of when they went in the home and when they left the home. How do we know that Brown was posing as a food delivery, whatever, or Uber Eats? 9 times out of 9, that came from the kid that they robbed. I opened the door, I thought it was Uber Eats, that's what he said, and then everyone pulled out fucking guns asking me for my Bitcoin. Sounds like this kid is fully cooperating. Like I said, if this kid knows who Zay is, if they've had any interactions, which is how they were able to obtain the information that this kid has mad crypto, they might be fucked in this case. Otherwise,
I ain't gonna take on the
Zay is
stand,
going to
bro.
be able to afford the best lawyer, as the rappers always do. His lawyer is going to try to pick this shit apart. The phone calls claiming Zay was instructing them on how to do this and that, whatever. Because, I mean, to be fair, right? If you call my phone and you're like, yo, how do I like, send crypto? And I'm like, oh, you just need this and that, and you do this and that, da-da-da, and that's it. And they hang up. I don't know if they're in the middle of a fucking robbery. I don't know what they're doing. They just called me and asked me about some damn crypto. But in that sense, he would kind of have to admit to having that conversation. Zay's lawyer, I'm sure, is going to be able to figure this out. And to be honest with you, as much money as Zay be dropping on jewelry and everything else, it's hard to imagine he needed this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I can imagine the other guys being broke as fuck, but not Zay. Zay lives out in LA. He doesn't live in Chicago. He's been escaped Chicago. So it's like, why would he need to even be involved in this situation?
I feel like just because who Zay is and his little crew, bro, they just want a whole bunch of gang members and shit, whatever you want to call it, in jail right now. I ain't gonna lie, I feel like everybody trying to spank somebody with a different case. Now, bro, the state ain't enough no more for the feds just getting everything now. You know what I'm saying? They talking about Pusha kidnapping motherfuckers. Now this, like, for what's going on for free smart. You feel me? That shit is getting crazy right now, folks. Like he said, though, that's probably the only way he could really say that shit. Like, I don't know, somebody just called my phone just said, like, how I know how to send some goddamn crypto. He's like, oh, this, that. Okay, hang up, some shit, but I don't know how long that's gonna go. You feel me? Like, who knows, bro?
Whole Pooh Shiesty and Gucci thing, it wasn't about the money, it was about the contract, which technically made it about the money. But he took all that other shit just to add disrespect to the situation. Versus in this situation, what the fuck are they, did you think you were really gonna get off with 10, 15 million in crypto and just bust that shit down with the homies and nobody was gonna figure nothing out and that kid wasn't gonna say nothing about it? These crypto kids love getting next to the rappers and love acting like they're doing this crazy shit. Like, there's a lot of kids that come from money and then figure out a way to turn their parents' money into their own money, but they want to, like, sell drugs and shit just to feel like they're living that lifestyle, as if they made it and they can relate to the rappers. And then they get around the rappers just to get robbed by the rappers. So the major thing in this, we're barely seeing any information.
Yeah.
Everything that I gave you in this video is the
got.
subtle layout that the feds have given. More paperwork is going to drop. We might get pictures, surveillance, we don't know what the fuck we're going to get. But there's going to be a lot more shit that's going to come out. I'm going to keep y'all updated and in tune about the situation. We're going to see how bad it is.
I ain't gonna lie, like I said again, man, it's crazy to hear you around some shit like this, man. You know what I'm saying? You already got out of Chicago.